3, Episode 3. The Carl Murphy project is still going on. Before I tell you what we're doing on this episode, have a quick look around the room. Of course, a bunch of the boys are out tonight for a couple of beers and some gears. And I got a very special guest with me this time. This is Matt McGrath, and Matt is Carl's dad. How are you, man? Good to see you, man.
Buddy. How you getting on? Let's get married.
I'm good. So I know you've been away, you're coming and going. What do you think so far? What's going on? You like it?
It's awesome. I'm stoked. Can't wait to see the end.
Yeah. I bet you're going to enjoy riding this one.
She's going to rip.
Yeah. Now, you don't mind me putting you to work a little bit tonight?
No, but come on, I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. Last show you saw us just getting some rough designs as to what we're going to do with the fenders and stuff. Basically all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some sharp drill bits. I'm going to drill some holes in the general direction of the lines that we marked out with the pen. I'm going to take an old school grinder, just a 4.5 inch grinder with a cutting disc. I'm going to cut out hole to hole to hole until we get the basic shape. And then we're going to take the grinder and we're going to clean it up and get it as smooth as we can and as even as we can. And if it's not smooth or even, well, the body man will have to worry about that. So let's get to work. So we got our first rough cut put to bed, our second rough cut put to bed. You can see we're starting to get a bit closer to the shape. So I'm going to get in there now. In the next pass, we're going to get rid of all these sharp edges. And once we got rid of all these sharp edges, we're going to take it off the, can I call this a bench? It's the world's smallest bench. We'll take it off the world's smallest bench and we'll flip it up, and that's when we'll take the tape off and really start sizing it up to see how it's progressing. So that's it for the rip cuts. We'll call them rip cuts anyway. That's it for the getting the general shape of it and getting it smoothed out a little bit. You can see there's a little tiny kink in this fender right here. The body man will have to take care of that. So the next thing we're going to do is get a piece of paper or a piece of cardboard. Take a trace on one side, flip it over to the other side. And Chewy here is going to have some homework. I'm going to give him a file set, and he's going to go home and get the last bit of this all evened out, so it sits nice. But it's nice and short and pretty even there now. I think it's going to look pretty cool on the back of the bike. She sits in here somewhat like so. Completely changes the look of the bike. If you remember correctly, we had a big dovetail fender on there, and I think that's more what Carl was after. Hey, Matty?
Oh, definitely. That's what we wanted.
Yeah. So you know, things are starting to happen. Let's take the grinder now to the front fender and nip the front of that off, and then we'll be good for the night. so we chopped the rear fender, shortened it up quite a bit. We had originally planned only to chop the front of the front fender, but it really did look like a mullet. So we put it back on the bike. We had a look at it, marked it up. We decided to chop the back off it too. So the fender is much shorter, but it fits the theme of the bike a lot better. So this is pretty much as good as you're going to get with the grinder and the sanding disc. Next thing we're going to do is break out the mini file set. And we won't be doing this on the show. We don't want to bore you to death. But we'll clean it all up with the file, get it ready for the body man, and then we'll send the tins off to paint. So next episode, we got to get the air cleaner and the intake and the carburetor and all that free, get the exhaust off, scrap this thing down so we can get at the engine. And the engine is probably going to be the most tedious part of the build. So that's where we're headed. I'd like to thank Matty for coming out tonight.
Thanks for having me.
I'd like to thank him for trusting us with his young fella's dream bike. We're certainly going to try and do him proud. I'd like to thank the boys for coming out and lending a hand as usual. And producer Vinny for being behind the camera. And Scotty Mac at Mac Tools. Thanks, Scotty. You know what you're doing out there, and we rely on your service and your tools to get shit like this done. So that's it, boys. That's it for now. Beers and gears.
Beers and gears.